Well, good evening, and welcome to My Psychic Connection. I'm your host, JourneyRyan. I'm here with Miss Holly and Marin. We are
Hey,
doing
guys.
dream interpretations tonight, and of course, it's Thursday, so I got a bunch of emails, a bunch. Everybody's like, okay, the dreams, when are they? I'm like, Thursday. They're like, when is that? I'm like, today. So they're like, oh, so we should be having a full house tonight. So hopefully everybody is ready to rock and roll and enjoy and, talk to us about the dreams that they're having. Hello to everyone out there on Facebook and YouTube, Spreaker, and all the other listening devices that you're able to hear us from. If you guys want to get a question into us, don't hesitate to send a comment in either Facebook or in YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. If you're on Facebook, like the group that you're in. Hi, Cassidy. How are you? Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Cassidy. Hey, Teresa.
All right. It's so awesome to be here tonight. And like I said, everybody was asking about the dreams. So as everybody's joining us right now, get those dreams ready and let us know about some stuff. And I was telling everybody, they're like, well, what do I ask when it comes to when I'm going to ask a dream interpreter, what am I going to be able to tell them that they're going to be able to tell me? I said, well, first of all, when it comes to dreams, you can tell us about the dream. Something's going to stand out about the dream. There's symbolism in the dream, which is going to help us process what you're going through. Hi, Jessica. How are you? And, we just, she will listen to what you guys are saying, and you'll see what stands out for you. So, like in my dream when I was talking about, everything being gone and then meeting up with spiritual groups, and there's a huge spiritual meaning behind that. So kind of talked about that a little bit, and you were talking about certain colors and animals and things that stand out, things going in a certain line. I mean, there was a lot. So if you guys haven't heard any of the recent episodes, you can go to My Psychic Connection Facebook and look those up and be able to watch reruns of the show. You can also catch us on YouTube. Remember, like and subscribe, and that is at My Psychic Connection, and go and check that out. You guys will have a great time watching me and Holly go back at it. You know how we
I
do.
don't know what you're talking about. I am
Has
a delight.
every idea what I'm talking about as she's doing it right now.
I'm a delight.
You didn't
And
like
don't laugh.
because she knows I'm right. She knows you. You're difficult.
I'm difficult. I'm difficult.
I am not difficult. I am a delight. There's a difference. I'm the other D word.
Marin is between us, going, "Oh my goodness me! Here we go again."
I'll fix that for you. Now you can start.
Oh!
Now you have to sit next to me, Holly. How you like them apples?
We've been on the air 3 minutes and 48 seconds, and we're already arguing.
It's not an argument. It's just an observation.
Yeah, I'm right, and you're wrong. Okay. And
you can't see, and you're deaf.
I just feel the love.
There's always love here with us.
Okay.
So go ahead and tell
what
us
I
a
was
little bit
gonna-
about yourself, so everybody that's new can get a little bit of knowledge about who you are, as you have become our new Thursday edition, and now joining our show. We're so happy and thankful that you've been here with us. So we've got quite a few people in. So I'm going to let you have the mic here, and I'm going to let you go solo. There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been an avid dreamer for many years, and because I'm 1,000 years old, back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of information on dream work, and so this work is fairly recent. We no longer say, "Oh, it's just a dream," just whatever. And so now we have the tools, and that's why I'm here, is to help you have the tools to work with your dream and to learn its language. They say that once again that dreams either represent parts of our own psyche, parts of ourselves, or they can be premonitional, they can be collective, but sometimes they represent parts of ourselves. So, if you have a dream to present, please, present a snippet so that I can kind of work with it. Just try to keep it within, within time allowance, and instead of, pages, chapters of a dream. And I'll try and give you the tools for that. The one thing I just wanted to mention too is with dream work, there's a lot of people out there that have their own interpretations, which is fine, because really you have to understand the context of the dream. No one can really tell you what to do or what the meaning of your dream is. We can ask questions, and then that is your discovery. So what I have instructed people to do when they're trying to look up dream symbolisms, beware of those dictionaries that, say, well, I had a dream that I was riding in a car. And then you open up the dictionary and then it says, you have to do this. You don't have to do anything. So look at the context. I'm riding in a car. Okay, are you the driver? Are you the passenger? Are you in the back seat? So I'm just going to say, be aware of dictionaries that tell you what to do. What I've done when I've looked at dream dictionaries is I will find a symbol that resonates with me. And what resonates with me is water. So there's a lot of dreams about purifying, of hydrating, of drowning, of tsunami waves, or a nice gentle beach. So what is it about that particular author's definition of water is going to resonate with you? Because dream dictionaries are not the same as your typical dictionary. You have to keep in mind it's in the language of the author's interpretation of it. So what I'm here to help you with, again, is just to give you the tools so that you can discover and really bring out the symbolism of your own dream story.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Perfect.
I hope that works.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then you have to, no. Okay.
All right.
Grace.
Well, we've already got some questions in the comment section. If you guys have a question about a dream that you had, or a question just about dreams, don't hesitate to put it in the comment box. We'll try to get to it as soon as we can. All right, our first question comes from Pamela. It says, I have a reoccurring dream about a house for 15 years now. It's often frightening and disturbing. Can you help me make sense of it?
Okay, so it says a reoccurring dream about a house. So I need to know a little bit more. What kind of house? What's happening in the house? Can you kind of give me a little bit more to go on?
All right, Pamela, I know you're out there listening.
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, give us a little bit more information so we can see what is making it frightening. What is it that's standing out about the house other than it's disturbing?
Yeah, so I just need a little bit more. I can while I'm hoping that you're going to respond.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're waiting for, just a little bit more of a snippet, I can say that in general, a house can be our own bodies. Again, it depends on the context. So that's why I want to understand. Okay, so it's rectangular shaped brick and 4 stories.
That's a tall house.
Okay, so now I'm wondering what is frightening about that. So I need just a little bit more. What What is frightening about a rectangular shaped brick house that is 4 stories? Okay, the first floor is normal. So now let's go to the second floor. Okay, so we have, that's on the first floor, living room, dining room, and a kitchen. Okay, so we are living, and then the second and third floors are bedrooms. Okay, so there we're getting into a private area. And now what's happening on the fourth floor?
That's what I'm wanting to know. It's like, dun, dun, dun. I'll make it scary. Hang on.
So while we're waiting for the fourth floor, the hallways around the rooms on the inside, and there's no windows. Hallways around the rooms. Rooms are on the inside. Okay, so do we know what's happening on the fourth floor? I mean, so in general, while we're waiting for the fourth floor, the first floor is normal. So I would say, you know, when we first come to our life, when we first get into a chapter of our life or the way we begin, we are normal, basically. We have a living room. We are fed, you know, through, we are fed in the kitchen. And so it's a place of gathering and a place of living. As we go further up into the house, we start to get into a private area, an area that is supposed to be restful. Oh, the fourth floor is a beautiful ballroom with marble black and white floors. As we go further area.
Sorry, guys. He decided to replay in the middle of the whole thing.
Okay, so may I ask, what is frightening? What is disturbing about the imagery of this house?
Oh, okay.
If I may ask. It's a reoccurring dream. The third floor. Okay, so you mentioned that the second and third floors was a bedroom. And so now what I'm seeing is the third floor. So the second floor, now this is my imagination. If these symbols were happening, you know, as I'm seeing these symbols, I'm feeling that the second floor is restful. And, you know, there's peace, there's privacy. As we go into the third floor, it's in disrepair. What is it about the third stage of our life, perhaps, that is in disrepair? What is it that is disruptive in our rest, in our peace? However, the fourth floor, and the 4 is a sacred number. It is a number of balance, of 4 corners. And it's marble, and it's a ballroom of dancing. So I'm wondering, is there a way is there a pathway from the second to the third to the fourth floor? Do you stop at the third floor? Think of a hotel with the room sharing a wall. The front is fine. Walking around the back is terrifying. So, you know, what I'm wondering is, is the back. Okay, so the back can be many different things. Is it the past? Could it be the past, the backside is dark and terrifying? I'm wondering what can shine some light. And the stairs to all the floors. So think of, parts of the psyche, parts of the body going up, the chakras. You're going up and you're experiencing light. As you're going down, you're going into the subconscious. You're going into the deep, dark, the essence of who we are. But I'm wondering now, is there some shadow in the back that perhaps hasn't been looked at, perhaps is in disrepair? And so now I'm wondering what light can be shown in this dark area. You mentioned that it's a reoccurring dream. I'm wondering, is it the same each time, or are you still going up the stairs and down the stairs? Is it reoccurring that you're going up into the light, but then going back into the dark, back into the subconscious? I'm imagining a reoccurring dream. There have been some stairs going up, but perhaps there are stairs going down as well. But I'm also wondering about the disrepair, and that is on the 3rd floor. Now, again, these are symbols that, they're common symbols, perhaps. The number 3 is the spiritual. The number 1 is the ego, the individual. The number 2 is the duality, and the number 3 is the spiritual. Maid, Mother Crone, the 3, anyway, the 3 is the spiritual number. And then going up to the 4th floor, marble and dancing and stability. So that's why I'm wondering about the 3rd floor. Also a basement with a beautiful solarium, but then a tunnel with dirt floors and naked hanging light bulbs, library to the left, lots of old newspapers and things. I've never went all the way through the tunnel. That's fascinating because, what comes to mind is old newspapers, the Akashic records, old scrolls, the old stories of our inner psyche, the old stories of our past. So, and there's naked hanging light bulbs. Are the light bulbs on? And then, there's something that makes me wonder, naked hanging light bulbs, is there a possibility of an electrocution, or are they just hanging and they're light? But there's a library there. So there's some old stories, perhaps, that needs to be uncovered, or perhaps reading the old stories and working through the old stories. I'm wondering, when dreams are scary, what I've done is, and what I suggest, have you been journaling about this particular house? Is there a way to perhaps draw the image, draw the floors? Is there a way to revisit? Because it for me, hallways, stairways are kind of like the hallways, how we negotiate our own life. Going up the stairs, being in the light, and going down. Okay, the dream is always different, and if I change something in the dream, the changes remain in the next dream. Yes, they're always one. There's always
one.
There's always one house. Is there always one?
She says on, not one.
Oh.
And the next, it's on, not one. Yeah, there you go.
On, not one. It's always on.
They're always
the
on.
lights are always
Lights
on.
are always
Thank
on.
you so much. Thank you very much for clarifying that. So in scary dreams, I also look at the medicine. So the light is on. It may be hanging, it may be, just kind of dangling there, a naked light, but the light is on. So now I'm wondering about the discovery. And this is a kind of dream where you almost have to be a little bit more lucid. So taking one step at a time down the hallway, reimagining having a torch or having a lamp and taking a walk down that path, down the hallway, down, revisiting the old stories. And what is it about the old stories that keeps inviting you back? If it's a reoccurring dream, it's inviting you, it sounds like it's inviting someone back to the past, back to revisit the Akashic records. I call them Akashic records, part of our own history. So I'm wondering, I'm wondering about that. Does that kind of resonate? Because my desire now, as I'm imagining this dream, I'd like to get to the 4th floor. I'd like to get to that 4th floor and dance. I'd really like to let it loose and, really start to sway and dance. So I'm wondering too, as we go up the stairs, around the halls, going past into the darkness, having a lamp, and finally getting to the 4th floor and dance.
Nice.
I hope that resonates.
Now, I was scrolling down here and I actually saw a question that intrigued me as we're coming through here. And I'm trying to find it right now because there's a lot of people asking questions and I would like to get to it. But it's from Shauna, and I'm going to put her question up for you. And Shauna says, hello. Not quite a question about my dream, but I'm curious if there was a way to visit our deceased loved ones while sleeping. I've had dreams of them, but I want to be the one to.
Oh, I understand that. But I want to be the one to initiate the dream, yes. If that makes sense.
Sorry, I got a bug in my eye.
Oh.
That damn fly, I've been trying to get it for 2 days.
Got a bug in your eye.
Lifespan was only supposed to be 24 hours.
That's a wonderful curiosity. I have tried to visit my parents. They don't always come. It's almost like they will visit me when there's something important to share, or they will visit me when they're kind of checking on me and saying hello. I myself have not been able to, I'm going to dream about my father tonight. And, what I mean, again, it's experience. I have tried to bring my father back. I just think when he passed away, you know, he came to say hi a couple of times, and now he's off with his friends. He's off partying, and or you know, he's now in nirvana. He's now, you know, enjoying this egoless, this heaven. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I've had luck in wanting to initiate a visit. There are things that I've been wanting to ask my mother, and she passed many years ago. But you know, she's off in another she's off in another realm, and she'll come by every now and then and kind of remind me of things. But it's almost like, you know, I'm wondering if that's kind of a different. There are people that can communicate with those that have crossed, but as far as in dreams, I haven't had much luck in bringing them in. But they have visited me. And when they do, I think I mentioned, when a loved one comes through, it is in pure love. So if a loved one comes through and it's kind of staticky and kind of weird, you know, kind of mean, that's the ego. That is our own brain doing that. Because, and I do believe in visitations, but really they're in nirvana. They're in the pureness of love. But yes, it does make sense, and I haven't had luck with that. And if anyone has had luck with that, I would love to hear it.
Can I chime in on that?
Yes, please.
Hi, Shauna. My name is Holly Harden. Everybody calls me Miss Holly. Yes, it is possible.
Thank you. I mean, no, please tell me. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. That the longer that someone has gone to the next level, the harder it is to reach them, because the persona that they had on this plane is not exactly the same persona that they have on the next plane. Okay, they transform very much like, you know, a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. So if you want to contact them, and I am going to be real honest with you, I do not recommend it for a couple of reasons. It is best for them to allow them to contact you when they feel the need, because you can get too dependent on them, and it also can kind of skew your judgment about what's being said when you do see them. Okay, but if you do want to contact them, what you do is you consciously, before you go to bed, ask them to visit you. Okay, that is putting it in their court. It is always in their court. Okay, so it is putting it, but it's asking them to visit you during your dreams. Okay, you can even say, "Hey, I would really love to have." One of the things that I do, my father loved to barbecue, and so when I want to see my dad, I will say, "Dad, you know, let's fix ribs." I know that sounds really crazy, but he liked to sit out and drink his beer and fix his ribs. And so if he is in the mood for ribs and not playing poker with all of his friends up in heaven, he will come and we will fix ribs and we will sit and talk. So usually when I have a big decision to make, or I need to, you know, work something out, he will come. He does not come all the time. But that's how I do that. And it does work. But you need to understand that they have passed on for a reason, and they no longer abide on this plane, and we need to respect that. So if they do come back to see you, that's wonderful. If they do not come back to see you, it does not mean that they hate you. It doesn't mean that they don't care about you. It doesn't mean that you had on the wrong footy pajamas when you went to bed. Okay? What it means is that they are off enjoying the new realm that they are living in.
Absolutely.
And that is okay. In fact, that's wonderful. Okay? So be patient with yourself and be patient with people who come and visit you in your dreams. A lot of times elders will come and visit us in our dreams when we've got, like I mentioned earlier, a very big decision to make. Things are chaotic. A lot of people right now are getting visited by their ancestors in their dreams because, let's just face it, the world's kind of in a mess right now. And we all need that comfort that we have a lineage that is on the other side.
Absolutely. The wisdom of the past, the wisdom and the strength of the past. And that's why the other person that had the dream of the library was amazing. And old newspapers, news, from the past.
I hate to quote a Disney movie, I really do, but one of the scenes, one of the most true scenes in any Disney movie is the scene where Mulan is in the hall with her ancestors. And she is sitting there, and all of her ancestors are there to support her. Okay? In this country, we don't have that tradition. We need to, because people need to realize that we do have ancestors that support us, protect us, warn us. Just because we don't see them, and just because they live in another dimension, does not mean that they don't come to see us or come to protect us from time to time.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too that it can be cultural. I mean, there are some cultures that, they commune with the ancestors on a regular basis. They're if a dream comes through, they speak the dream to the tribe, to the family, and it is like tying, the dream self, the dream world, the past with the present. So that's why I'm very excited in this current time that we're going ahead by going back into the dream space.
Yes. I feel like saying amen.
Banzai.
So, Shauna, I hope that answered your question. If it made you more confused, I'm sorry, girl, but invite them, make a date with them.
Well, now it's my turn.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So, when it comes to the type of dream where you're wanting to take in and bring a family member, as Holly was saying, yes, it is possible. Here's a lot of the things when it comes to that. Spiritually, mentally, you need to have extreme focus. You have to be razor sharp. Like here's the thing about trying to connect the other side. Like I warn people, when you're trying to talk to spirit and everything, and let's say you're in a place where you are in a depressed place or a sad place, and you're wanting to, I want my aunt around me, or I want my grandmother around me, I want this around me, and you just so happen to do it, you get the attention of something else. Unless you're sharp enough to understand that that's not the person you're wanting to talk to, it's very dangerous. There's a warning to this. Inviting something into your subconscious mind can not only mess with your dream, but psychologically it messes with you, not just during the dream, but outside the dream. So it has effects. Your dreams help you process what you're going through in your everyday life. So to invite something in it I feel is not necessary. Now, as Marin said, that they come to visit on their own, that is different. Because that was something that was put together, meant to be. It was the perfect timing. You needed some kind of counsel at that time. But to invite it in, you don't know what you're inviting in, especially if you're not trained. This is something that takes a lot of skill.
That is actually a very good point.
It is a very good point.
And thank you for sharing that. I just kind of got a hit on one of the dreams that I've heard in the past where, you know, a woman of Asian background, oh, she was just having such a hard time with this current COVID pandemic because, you know, she has Asian background, but she was born and raised in the United States. And, you know, because of some of the thoughts of you know, this background, it made her very sad, and she was very close to her father, and she did have a dream that the father came in and presented her with an oyster. And so when she opened the oyster, there was a pearl. So it was kind of a, it's okay. You know, the shell is hard and it's hard to open it up. But when you open yourself up and you just kind of accept the circumstances of our current condition, we can find a pearl of happiness, of tolerance, of forgiveness, and things of that nature. So in this case, her sadness, it just, you know, her father just visited her in her dream. So there's a medicine to this as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we have some more questions here, but we had some really good points, and I love all the information that we're getting. We're getting more questions, so we're gonna keep moving along here as we can get to them, so they don't get drowned out because it's getting so many now. All right, this one's from Nina. So I'm going to pass this along to you from Nina, and we're not going to be able to see our faces, but it'll be all right. We'll live through it. Says, I need help with this, please. I was fishing either with my brother or my husband, and we were standing on a cement box, like an old sewer box. I hooked something. It was big, so we were pulling it in. It was fighting. It wasn't fighting back or anything. So we get it upon the thing we were standing on, that we're on, and it was a dead body. It wasn't really scary or anything, but it was. I was shocked. There was a spirit with her. The spirit told us to leave her alone and took the body back into the water, where she put here. It was rough.
Okay. Now, first I would ask about the cement box that you're standing in. A sewer box.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that like? There's kind of a waste material or a heaviness to it. And, you know, as we're fishing out of the emotion or the subconscious, for me, you know, water is our emotion. We're made of, 70% water. And so now we're putting something in to a water essence, and what comes up is deadness. So now if we look at water, you know, water is cleansing, Water is like a baptism. Water is a dilution, of poisons. And so now I'm wondering, am I standing in something that perhaps I shouldn't be standing in for now? And am I reaching into something and it's not something that I should be reaching into? Perhaps it needs more cleansing. It needs more purification. Other than that, I would ask, what is it like for that dead body? If you were to imagine that dead body, what would that dead body be saying or feeling? Would it be saying, leave me here? Would it just be not full of consciousness at all? And so the medicine would be that spirit that is giving some kind of instruction. Let this purify a little longer. And the fact, standing in a sewer box or a cement box, I'm wondering if, as we develop this dream, as we reimagine this dream, can we step out of this box? Can this box be now part of the boat? But I guess I'm just feeling standing in, waste material or sewer material or something heavy and dense. So for me, the medicine would be something needs more purifying. If that makes sense. Does that resonate?
Yeah, Marin,
Yeah.
she's saying when the spirit took her back into the water, she put her in a spot that was preserving her. I somehow followed her and I saw what she did. And then the following. You see the one up there? Then I called the cops and they said that the body was placed perfectly so it would slow down the decomposition.
Okay.
Sorry, I was responding to a person trying to get a dream question in as they were responding to yesterday's show and not the live show.
Oh dear.
So I had to kind of come this way.
Oh, you're no, it's fine. Always
And
ever vigilant.
She said I was on top of the box, but I live in West Virginia, so it meant. So I mean, it wouldn't be all that surprising. Laugh out loud.
Slowing down the decomposition, it sounds like a baptism, a purification. It almost sounds Egyptian, when they purify a spirit or they purify our body, and it's given gifts, it's given a way of, slowing down that process, that death process, and allowing the purity of the spirit to arise. What I saw there is you had seen what she did.
Yes, she did.
Okay, what does that mean? What did the woman do?
I somehow followed and I saw what she did, is what she says.
Okay. Followed the spirit or?
The spirit is from what I'm taking.
Okay,
yeah.
so the spirit is the one that placed the body perfectly to slow down the decomposition. So
the spirit that was with her was kind of frantic.
Okay. Why was the spirit kind of frantic? Can you see the spirit? Put her, and how she put her in the water. How did she put her in the water? Did she put her in the water gently? Or did she frantically put her in the water? That's kind of what I'm wondering now.
She wanted us to leave the body where it was.
Okay. So there's something not to be touched. There's still a purification process going on, and it maybe should not be looked at for now. When the body is purified, perhaps then it may be an invitation to look at the body or to experience the body after the purification process. And I'm wondering if the spirit was frantic. Was the spirit frantic in keeping you from looking at the body, or keeping you from touching the body? Oh, okay. Yeah, it still speaks to me of purification, of a re-healing. Yeah, yeah. And maybe not touch it yet. So that's why now I'm wondering, is some part of my own body going through a purification process? And I'm feeling the guidance and the gentleness of the spirit to work with something that is dead in ourselves, and perhaps slowing down the negative part of death and purifying, something making it pure and whole, and then visiting it, and then revisiting that. So I'm almost wondering if perhaps communicating with the spirit, what is it that I shouldn't be looking at now? Or asking some guidance. What is it about my current life that perhaps I should stay back? Or perhaps I should take my time so that I don't decompose too quickly, so that whatever I'm looking at doesn't completely fall apart. So I see her as a guide. It was like a mother bear daring someone to touch her kid. Okay. I would see that as a guide. Maybe I might want to spend a little bit more time asking questions to this spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Nina. We got some more questions here. I just want to go up here and grab this question here. This is from Christina. And Christina writes, I've had a dream about me feeling a baby kick in my womb, but I could feel the baby kicking literally. And then later I find out twins and triplets run in my family.
Okay, so the baby is kicking. So my question would be, are you of childbirthing age? And, so for example, I am way past childbirthing age. But if I am dreaming of bringing forth a new generation, my whole insides is bringing forth new ideas and bringing forth a new life, bringing forth a new way of dealing with something. And it's kicking to come out. So I'm wondering, is that energy okay? Yes, I am of childbirthing age. And do you have children now? I do not want children. Okay.
No, she does want children.
Oh, I do. I'm so sorry.
I do that all the time.
Gomenasai. And you do want children. So, it doesn't always necessarily have to do with the physicalness of having a child. It could also be the ideas that are coming forth, the new way of doing things, or a new adventure to go into, and it's kicking to come out. Is that kicking joyful or is it painful?
She says she has no children as of now.
Okay. And so is that kicking, is it joyful, frightening, painful, mysterious, curious? And to find out that you have triplets and twins in your past, joyful. So a lot of great ideas are coming forth, I'm wondering. And maybe doubled, maybe tripled. Like I said, it may not have to do with an actual physical birth of a child, but birthing a human being or birthing something, birthing an idea, birthing love. And that it's physical kicking. It's very exciting. It's not just, yeah, I'm, the baby's moving around. It's kicking. So I feel a sense of excitement.
There is excitement when it always comes to children. To me, there's excitement there, but there's also, when I see children in dreams, I always think of the innocence that we have as a child that represents something innocent in our lives that we're not realizing or seeing as an innocent moment, and things that come naturally.
Absolutely. And a new way of doing things, a new way of looking at things. And a chance to begin again as a child ourselves.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Yeah, she's excited.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, let's keep on going here. We got another dream question. I just got to scroll to get to it. We got so many. All right, we got that one. We took care of this one. And a lot of sharing here. I love it. I love it. All right, this one's okay. This one we have not gotten to.
Okay, I keep having a repeating dream of what happened to me in June. And then I see this person coming to my place and pulling a gun out and shooting me because he's angry because I spoke up. Okay, so I want to be respectful of what happened in June. And I'm sensing a trauma. Now, when I've had guns in my dreams, for example, it is, for me, a symbol of wake up. Wake up to this particular issue. And because pulling a gun now and shooting me. Now, do you feel the shot? Does the bullet actually enter into you? Is it a painful bullet wound? And I can share something about when I had a dream of being shot. It was a person that said, "There she is," and shot me, and I died. And what I saw was I needed to wake up to the intensity of a waking life situation that I really had to face, that I had to be shot in order to wake up to it. And so now, if we look at parts of the dream as part of our own psyche, is it me that's angry? And I am now starting to feel, should I have spoken up? Should I not have spoken up? Am I feeling guilty about speaking up? Is someone threatening me because I was speaking my authentic truth? So for me, that is a conflict between me and me. It's almost a conflict between the masculine self and the feminine self. However, when I experience dreams like this, I look for the medicine. And so now I'm wondering if the medicine is actually the gun, because it's waking me up. It's shooting some sense into me that's making me look at a particular situation. And there's a part of me that is angry at me because of speaking up. Well, who's that guy? And it's part of a dream. He's not supposed to be angry. What's the story there? So I would look at the guy and I would look at that anger, but I would also look at the gun. What is that? What is that frightening image trying to wake you up to look at? I hope that resonates somehow. That is a very scary dream.
Absolutely, and the energy that goes with it too is like it's also feeling a sense that they had to do something in which they, I feel like it was connected to their daily life as well.
Speaking up is an issue. But sometimes we have to speak up.
Right.
But there is a balance. There's a balance to that as well.
Yes, there is. Sorry,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get through all the questions here. So I go along here.
You're popular, Marin. You're going to have to come back.
Popular. I know about popular.
Oh, no.
All right.
Wonderful images.
All right. So while we're in Dreamland, we're going to take one last question here for the night, you guys. This question is coming from Amy.
Okay, odd that we're talking about dreams. I never remember my own except the occasional nightmare. Oh, I love nightmares. I woke nights. This morning when I went to bed, I dreamt that something horrid was happening. It was never clear what happened. And I had to gather my children and significant other and run to the woods. Okay, something horrid was happening. It was never clear what happened. And I had to gather my children and significant other and run to nature, run into the wood, run into Mother Nature, run into the wood. So now I'm wondering, what is that situation? You know, what in waking life has you running? What in waking life do I feel like I have to gather myself? I have to gather significant parts of myself and run to nature. I felt the weight of very bad things, but no idea what it was at all. So now, you know, the thing that I love about disturbing dreams is now it's weighty. It's really weighing on the dreamer. It's a very weighty issue. So now I'm looking at what in waking life has me weighed down. What in waking life has me weighed down, and it feels like it's bad things, but I'm sensing it's just a heaviness. And I'm wondering if it's worry, anxiety, which is very typical and normal right now, that one needs to gather what is precious, gather our feelings, gather our love, our children, the child parts of ourselves, and our very significant part of love, ourself, our mature self, our significant mature self, and our child love self. So now I'm just wondering, in waking life, I would ask, what is very weighty? What has me weighted down? And I would think about that, but again, you know, also focus on the medicine, which would be the wood, the grandmother tree, the tree that, you know, I also, when I have clients come, sometimes we go for a walk, because when they come and they want to share their dream with me, they're all kind of staticky. I call it kachi kachi, which is kind of, you know, just, you know. And so I just say, you know what? Let's not talk right now. Let's walk through the wood. Let's walk to grandmother tree. And see, I feel weight in all aspects. I haven't had an idea how to sort it all. So this dream is now saying, you know, consider beginning to sort it all. And again, that could be with a mentor. It could be with a person of wisdom, therapy. It can be in all kinds of forms, starting to sort. So now I'm wondering, you know, sometimes when I've had disturbing parts of dreams, I would have counsel. I would light a candle and place, you know, a problem here, and a mentor here. And I would have them discuss it, leave the room, and then come back and meditate. What did they talk about? But I think what I'm sensing is there's a lot to sort because it's very weighty. So I would perhaps recommend a mentor. a person of wisdom to help. But that's a very revealing dream. That's a helpful dream, because it's looking to balance the waking self. The dream self is saying, things need to get sorted out here. In fact, it's getting a little scary. So let's sort it out now. Let's start to look at it now. When that happens, I can say these things will start to sort out. They'll start to smooth out. And I always recommend a journal. I always recommend journaling about it. I hope that
I love my dream journal.
Yes.
I know that sounds silly, but I really do enjoy it.
It's very valuable.
You learn so much from it.
Even a sentence, even a snippet, even an image, and then come back and revisit it, and then start to expand that story.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for these dream images.
Oh, yeah, they're great. And she did say one more thing. I see what I can do in that area. Thank you. Mentorship is something I find challenging to acquire. Well, mentorship can also come from someone outside of the friendship realm. Mm-hmm. It's usually best to find someone who knows you in the way that you present yourself to them, because you present yourself to your friends a certain way because there's certain aspects of your life that you don't want to share with those who you feel may judge you. But a mentor,
absolutely, yeah,
or a guidance, somebody who will give you guidance, will not judge you on those things. Someone like myself, Marin, Holly, we would all take in what you were saying to get a better understanding in order to put you on the path in which you would need to take. So, I would look into finding the mentor outside of the friend realm, maybe gaining, even a life coach or a counselor or a psychic, just everything that you could just go to them, talk to them, and know that the information in which they're being told is confidential.
And I also look at the wisdom of the ancients. I look at the wisdom of the grandmothers, and the wisdom, and grandmothers aren't always related, because in a tribal situation, it was the grandmothers that took care of the children. And they weren't necessarily related, but it was the women of wisdom that would come forth and guide the children. So the people of wisdom that guide the child within us, that helps us to sort it out.
Amy, I'm looking at your comment. I'll do that. Thank you. I don't ever remember dreams, maybe once in 6 months. So I'm not sure a dream journal would help. Okay. So when you have a dream journals help you remember your dreams. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but they do. One of the things that I do is, I think all three of us have dream journals by our beds. I know Marin does, I know I do, and I know that he does. So yeah, all three of us. So if we have a dream, we try to wake up and we write what we saw in the dream. Very, very quickly. It doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. It just needs to be a couple of things that, I was, in a grove with a unicorn and a good looking guy,
Dang, what kind of dream is that?
Woohoo! Anyway, but I thought I'd leave with that. But
I kind of figured.
But I write that down, and then I will go back and when my conscious mind is more fully awake, I'll go back, and they're prompts is what they are. They're called prompts. And that will bring you back to that dream, and you may not be able to replay the whole thing in your head, but you will be able to revisit it. So that is something that you might want to think about doing. The other thing is, you find the best mentors. I have found this by going to a class. I'm gonna just put this out there because I'm sensing a bunch of things. Amy, you're very intuitive, but you're also an empath. And part of the reason that you've got a lot of chaos in your life is because you carry around every ounce of energy and emotion that comes your way. Who did that?
That was me because you kept tapping the table, so I figured I'd join you.
Okay, thank you. And you need to learn how to harness that. Okay. So taking a class on psychic development, dream interpretation, lucid dreaming, a tarot class, something where you get that energy focused. Thank you, Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
you get that energy focused, it's not only going to help you focus your energy, it's going to teach you how to ground, but it's also going to open you up to a whole new world of people that are interested in the same type of things that you are, on the same path that you are. Okay. And you can find wonderful mentors that way. Where do you find that sort of class? Well, not to toot our own horns, but Ryan, Marin, and I are all going to start teaching in January.
Class is in session.
Oh dear God. So be on the lookout for that. You can get that information at My Psychic Connection. It will be on the Facebook page there, Ryan, right? Yes, is
Yes,
that where we're going?
All the information will be on the Facebook pages. It'll be on the website. If you guys, once we get the new site completely secured, which is going to happen in January 2nd, the launch of the new site is going to be available. And
Hallelujah! 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 Sorry. Okay.
So all of that's being taken care of as of now. That's the launch date from what I've known, and we're going to be able to put all that stuff on there. We're going to be able to you can be able to click into the classes, learn tarot, dream interpretation, a bunch of different spiritual classes. We will be the first of the college in which we are not allowed to say their names until all the rights and things are put over, but that name will be coming about. But it is a school that is well known throughout the U.S. So let's just leave it at that.
Let's just leave it
drop that there for you. Let's just drop that there.
And that's a wonderful way of sorting it out.
It's a wonderful way of sorting it out, and we highly suggest that. And if you do, I'm not saying come to our class and give us money. I'm not saying that it would be great, but what I'm telling you, Amy, is that I've been doing this for 30 years. Everybody that is on the screen with you at this moment has multiple decades of experience. But I can tell you one thing. I got my start. Marin got her start in a class. Okay? It was a dreadful class, but it was a class.
My start through my upbringing.
Yes.
My family taught me on both sides about all the different ways and different. I have Native American. I've got, some other side of my family, which Vikings and all that other stuff that we've come to find out. And got a lot of upbringing on different ways and how they learned and what I needed to learn through dream interpretations, which Native American symbolism and other symbolisms are completely different, just so y'all know. They see things completely different. So I take a combination of the two and kind of put it together to kind of get a better balance as to what's going on. So kind of have both of the best of both worlds on that. So I like to share when I can. But Marin, her interpretations are amazing, and that's why she's here with us. And I'm so happy you can be with us here every Thursday night.
Thank you very much.
So, enough of my preaching, okay? But Amy, seriously, you have some seriously wicked gifts, my darling. So let's if you want to talk to one of us, we're on My Psychic Connection. You can connect with us there, and we can talk about more about that offline. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I just wanted to add, that's what the dream wakes us up to be aware of, is we have our gifts to share.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'm so glad we got the chance to talk about it. You guys had some great questions. Now, I did want to not leave off with something that Holly and Marin were talking about, but there's also a digital dream journal that you can get for free. It's an app. You can get it on Apple or Android and download it. What I do is I tell myself in my digital app what my dream was about while it's still vivid in my memory, because as you go throughout the day, you realize you start losing parts of that dream. Some parts stick, but you'll start to slowly forget certain details of the dream. So when I wake up and I'm like, boom, I turn it on and I start talking to my tablet. I look crazy, but I've got to remember everything that happened in that dream. And what it does is not only does it record my voice, it actually writes the words as I'm speaking. So
Yes.
check it out. I'll get a title for you as of right now. I know it's just a dream journal that I have on there, and I just hit dream journal and it pops up and I talk and it tells me everything, and it actually puts it into text for me as I tell the story of what happened in my dream. Then I go back and I look at it and I'm like, oh, you know what? In that part of my life, this, and this was happening. So I was processing something.
Marin, do you feel old?
I'm sorry?
What is that?
What is what?
That
We're hearing
echo.
an echo.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you feel old? Because I know you've got a paper journal and I've got a paper journal. Ryan is much younger than we are. Now I need to go find that thing. Because that sounds wonderful.
It's really cool. It's a really cool app. So
I just love age. So that's a compliment to me.
well, I do have a dream journal. This is one of the ones I filled up already.
Oh my goodness me.
I have like 6 or 7 of these, by the way.
Wow.
Yes. I've been collecting dreams for a very long time.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
But I love it. And I want to say thank you so much for being here tonight. Of course, Holly, you're always here with me. And we love it. And we love everybody else. Remember, guys, keep writing your dreams down. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is that you have a question about, don't hesitate to come and ask. We'll be here next Thursday with the dream interpretations. Tomorrow night, we're going to be here with Gifts of Faith. We're going to have a better show than we had last Friday since we've gotten rid of the problem. The trolls be gone. The trolls be gone. Well, from everyone here at My Psychic Connection, we want to say thank you so much for coming out. We're going to see you guys tomorrow night with Gifts of Faith starting at 10 p.m. And until then, this is JourneyRyan signing off. You girls have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.